Welcome to Built for This, the podcast where real estate meets real life skills. Hosted by Andrea Lane and Alyssa Bicar, each episode features investors turning their unique edge into long-term rental success.
Hello and welcome to the Built for This podcast. I am your co-host, Alyssa Bicar, the consultress, here with my partner in crime, Andrea Lane, the fearless real estate investor. Together, we are the dynamic duo, like oil and vinegar, vinaigrette. We use our hands, we talk really loud, and we want to pull the real stories out of real estate investors. We're here to let you know that it doesn't take bazillions. You don't have to be schooled to the nines. We get the real story and the real scoop of how people get involved and how people are successful. So today, who do we have for him, Andrea?
So I'm real excited today to introduce Cris Sohmer. I haven't spoken to her in a long, long time, but I actually used to babysit for her. So this is an exciting, an exciting podcast for me. I don't know anything about her real estate business, so it's all brand new. So, Cris, I know that you own 5 rental units in Massapequa and you're a property manager in the Nassau County, New York area. And so my favorite question, why did you get into real estate? What brought you here?
Well, thank you for asking me, Andrea and Alyssa. So nice for you to bring me on to Build for this podcast. I got involved in real estate investments because as I was emancipating out of high school, all of my siblings seemed to have some type of skill set that was marketable in the job arena. And my dad, who you knew, sat me down one day and he said, I don't really see that you got a skill set that's going to help you support yourself for the rest of your life. And with that attitude of yours, you're going to need something. So he said, I'm going to recommend you get yourself into civil service so that long-term you have healthcare benefits and a pension. And then I want you to do a side hustle, get involved in real estate investments, buy a house, fix it up, rent it out. Pull out some equity, buy another, because you need like a long-term plan for how you're going to not just survive, but thrive. And I'm going to recommend you be your own boss, go be a real estate lady.
That's great. That's a great story. And I'm not surprised your dad pushed you in that direction. So, yeah, that's fabulous. So now that he got you interested and you started, what do you like most about it?
You know, I love the challenge that comes with scoping out a new property, the wheeling and dealing of negotiating, the stressors that come with financing, you know, the excitement of the closing, the fix-ups. I love working with contractors and handy people. I love advertising the available rentals, screening, meeting potential tenants, you know, face to face. And I love just hearing like where they're coming from, why they're relocating.
Yeah.
I hear all of this. It's almost like you are real estate obsessed. That to me sounds like you found your calling. So like dial me back just a little bit. Like I heard civil service and this is a side hustle. Is this your like 100% main focus now, or is there still a mix of different things you pay attention to in your professional life?
So I got involved in civil service years ago and I met the criteria for retirement. So I retired young and went into real estate investing full time. So it was my side hustle. It's my absolute passion. I could talk about it, be about it 24/7.
Yeah, no, and see, this was Andrea's influence in my life. She's like, anybody who wants to talk to me about real estate, come on in. I'll talk about it all day long. My friends are bored with me because this is all I can talk about.
It's exciting. I find it thrilling.
I 100% agree with you. Real estate is my life, and people do get bored because I do love to talk about the market, what's happening, what you can do. And you can do so much with real estate, right? It's a game you can play.
Yeah. My game plan is to buy a house, move into it, renovate it while I'm living there. Once I know the bones of it, I'm ready to buy another and move and leave it to somebody because I know the property. If there's an issue, I know how to handle it. So that's my
Mm.
MO.
So you
Right.
want to buy it and fix it while you live in it and then rent it, or you're going to sell it?
Ultimately, I'll rent it because I think, probably within the next dozen years, I'd like to maybe head south for a bit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's
I
always
think
nice to get warm in
South,
the winter.
yeah, South is New York. I have a lot of friends that were New York expats that went to the Carolinas and to Florida. And they're like, there's so many New Yorkers here. I'm like, yeah.
It's
And there's a
true.
reason to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Right on. So, I want to ask specifically because you now have like told us like your passion is in the people and the projects and the challenges. How did you cultivate these skills? Did you have inside of your career trajectory or in some of your life experiences, things that came to the surface that you knew were your knack that give you that competitive advantage in the real estate investment industry?
I think that when you think about something and you talk about something and then you start being about that something, that's kind of where your heart is and your head is at.
Mm.
I wasn't just thinking about it, talking about it, and being about it. I was just living about it. So I think that really pointed me towards this. And look, I've hit some snags along the way, like every landlord. I've been in and out of landlord tenant court. I've been in and out of other civil matters. So it's not a perfect career, but it's absolutely one that I enjoy, even with the stressors that come with it. Get yourself a
Yeah.
great lawyer, get yourself a great handyman, and you can solve just about everything.
Right on. And like perfect segue because I was just about to ask you, so like what have been your biggest challenges or struggles lately? Like these things change as market conditions change, as we evolve as entrepreneurs. So what has been your biggest challenge or struggle lately in your
So
business?
lately, I'm a little concerned about how high the prices are. So I'm
Oh,
interested in buying a high ranch, and nothing is below 600,000 in the areas that I'm looking. So I remember starting out, my first property was 52,000, and then my next property was 164. So 600,000 or better to me seems astronomical. That's my biggest challenge, how high the prices are right now.
mm-hmm. And are you when you I don't hear you, Andrea. I know you had something to interject here.
It just, how are you doing your marketing?
As far as finding the rentals or tenants,
Finding the rentals for you.
I put it out there. I let people know like what my criteria is. I'll check Zillow. I'll look on um, the social media platforms that talk about houses for sale.
Cool.
So it's a mixed bag.
Go ahead. Sorry, Alyssa.
Yeah, no,
That
so
was,
I'm hearing like you're very hands-on in this whole process. Like you live it and breathe it. It's like identity inside of who you are. When you do these rentals now, are you self-managing and like when you put the tenants in, are you like the point of contact for them? How does that work?
Yes. So when I screen tenants and decide upon like who is the ideal candidate, and they move in, I let them know that I'm your point of contact. Here's my cell phone number. I'm 24/7. If ever you need anything, if there's something you can't handle, reach out to me. Other than that, see what you can do. Are you good at painting? Are you good at, plumbing or any, type of, you know, decor? Have at it. But other than that, any problems arise, you let me know and I will dispatch first the handyman and then escalate it from there.
Hmm.
do you let them know that you're the owner or the property manager?
I let them know I'm the owner, and for a really, really, really long time, and I've been at this for 30 years, I let them know that I'm a single mom and I rely upon the rents and tenants taking good care of my investment. And it gives me the ability to pay my taxes and pay my mortgage and support my child. So if they ever feel like they can't do the right thing as far as taking care of the property and paying their rent on time, they have to leave immediately. No hard feelings, no problems, just go.
Yeah,
And
that's
that seems to work.
That's great boundaries.
That's wonderful.
And being willing to say this is not negotiable, not because there's some external thing, like this is very meaningful to me. It sounds like, I'm not surprised based on what we've heard from you so far about being so personally invested and how this works. Since you've done this now a couple times over and you've put together a nice portfolio, are you wanting to grow it more? Are you satisfied with the number of units you have right now? Like, what does that growth look like for you?
The growth for me is passing the torch. My son and daughter-in-law are going to buy one of my properties, and they're going to be landlords while they live in the property and have a tenant downstairs. So I'd like to pass the torch in that respect, and then
Hmm.
just buy like maybe one or two more properties and kind of just coast and be comfortable there.
Yeah, right on. And so it sounds like you've kind of written the play, you've chosen the actors, and like it looks like you picked the stage crew too. So I love that this is like a all hands on deck thing for you. Can you share a recent win or lesson or story from your investing journey?
So I think one of the greatest lessons is that doing business in Nassau County, everything is working in your favor. You've got great you've got great judges. In case you have to go into court, the Nassau County judges, in my experience, understand you're paying your taxes, you're sticking around to vote, you're doing the right thing, investing in this community. I have found working with the Nassau County judges to be very fair to landlords, thankfully. And that's, I think, the greatest lesson I've learned in this.
Yeah, I mean, especially because I mean, you hear the nightmare of like, you can't evict people in certain areas because the law is not necessarily written in your favor. I mean, Andrea, what's your take?
Yeah, so that is not my experience in New York. I had very different experience. We're out of New York, have been for years. My husband was going to divorce me if we weren't. So my experience was very different from yours. So I'm grateful that if the judges in your area are fair, and reasonable, and that's all you can ask, right?
Oh,
So
yeah. They
good for
make it
you.
worth investing in this community, because if I was hamstrung and not able to enforce the rent payments or the eviction proceeding, that would hurt my business and my ability to invest in the community. So it really works in everyone's favor to be fair.
So what does a typical eviction take? How many months?
So ironically enough, during the pandemic, when people were talking about, oh, you got to get on the list, it could take years. I'm like, no, thank you. Not getting on a list, not going to take years. I approached the tenant directly. My personal circumstances have changed. I need the space back. I'm going to give you money to leave. Or you want to leave next week? Here's a bonus. I have worked directly with my tenants and encouraged them to leave. I made it very lucrative for them to not have to be evicted.
That's wonderful. That's a great way to play the game.
Yeah.
Love that. We're so excited to have so many different perspectives and marketplaces here on the podcast because we talk to investors all over the country, and the perception of what a place might look like could be very different from the reality. And you get to listen to all the different stories and what works for who and how, because part of what we're highlighting is here is who you are matters, especially in your role in your business. So thank you so much for showing us what alignment looks like when you're dedicated to your craft and you're dedicated to your boundaries and your strategy. So as we're wrapping this up here, let us know, what do you have on the hopper? What's on your horizon for growth in the next 6 to 12 months?
So I'm absolutely going to pass the torch to my son and daughter-in-law and let them take over two of the doors that I own and manage. And I'd like to buy another property that has, either double rental income or perhaps multiple incomes. So within, I'm going to say the next 6 months, I'd like to acquire at least one more property.
That's awesome. And she's
Great.
moving and shaking, ladies and gents. She knows why she's doing it. She knows who she is and exactly what her boundaries and what's non-negotiable and what's really fair and just. And sounds like your heart's really in it. So, I mean, This has been a great interview for me. I love connecting with people who are working and playing in the background of the place where I grew up. And so it's so good to have been with you here. You heard it here, ladies and gents. Cris Sohmer, where can people go to find you if they want to connect with you and learn more about what you're up to?
They can find me on social media. They can find me on the Built for This podcast. They can find me on LinkedIn.
Right on. We'll have in the show notes a link for the LinkedIn so you can connect and message Cris. Thank you so much for being here. You have heard it here. Real people doing real estate deals. So don't go away. We have another amazing guest lined up for you right after this.
This wraps another episode of Built for This. If you're a real estate investor with a unique edge, apply to join us at builtforthisshow.com/guest.